There is a profound difference between attention and authentic love. Attention is loud, urgent, and restless. Authentic love is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. When a man feels real love for you, it does not begin with obsession, it begins with recognition. He does not just see your face, he sees your fears, your contradictions, your history, and he does not flinch. Something within him says, I know this soul, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Authentic love is not proven by grand gestures alone. It is revealed in consistency. When a man truly loves you, he does not disappear when things become inconvenient. He stays present when you are difficult, when life is messy, when emotions are high. He does not punish you for being human. Instead, he becomes curious. He wants to understand the language behind your silence, the story behind your reactions. He does not try to fix you as if you are broken. He seeks to support you as you grow. You will notice something subtle but powerful. He feels safe with you. A man in authentic love removes his armor. He shares fears he hides from the world. He admits confusion. He lets you see the parts of him that are unfinished. This vulnerability is not weakness, it is trust. And trust is the foundation of real love. If he is willing to be seen without performance, without ego, without control, it means he values connection more than image. Authentic love also expresses itself through protection but not possession. He wants you safe, respected, and emotionally secure. He does not isolate you from the world. He encourages your independence. He does not shrink your light. He admires it. Jealousy may exist, but it does not control him. Instead of controlling you, he works on himself. Instead of demanding reassurance, he builds confidence in the bond you share. Another sign of authentic love is patience. Infatuation rushes, ego demands. Real love waits. He does not pressure you to move faster than your heart is ready. He respects your boundaries because he respects you. And boundaries, when honored, deepen intimacy rather than destroy it. When a man truly loves you, your no does not threaten him. It teaches him how to love you better. Most importantly, authentic love inspires growth. He becomes more disciplined, more focused, more intentional, not because you forced him, but because loving you awakens his higher self. He wants to become a man worthy of the connection. He starts thinking long-term. He imagines building, protecting, providing emotionally and spiritually. His actions align with his words over time. You will feel it not as anxiety, but as calm. Not as chaos, but as clarity. Authentic love does not leave you questioning your value every night. It may challenge you, but it does not destabilize you. It feels grounding. It feels like being chosen repeatedly, not just desired temporarily. And perhaps the deepest sign of all, he does not love you for what you give him. He loves you for who you are. If everything external were removed, status, beauty, validation, his connection would remain. Because authentic love is not transactional. It is relational. It is not about ownership. It is about presence. When a man feels authentic love for you, he is not trying to win you. He is trying to understand you. He is not trying to impress you. He is trying to build with you. And in that quiet shift from pursuit to partnership, you will recognize something rare. Not excitement, not drama, but depth. And depth is where real love lives. When a man feels authentic love for you, he does not fall in love with a fragment. He does not select only your laughter and ignore your silence. He does not praise your strength while rejecting your vulnerability. He sees the entire landscape of who you are, the light and the shadow, the confidence and the doubt, the polished exterior and the hidden fears, and instead of stepping back, he steps closer. There is something deeply transformative about being fully seen and not abandoned. To be seen in this way means he pays attention beyond the surface. He notices the shift in your voice when you are tired but pretending to be strong. He recognizes the stories behind your reactions. He understands that your independence may have been born from necessity, not preference. Instead of judging the parts of you that are complicated, he becomes curious about them. Authentic love is rooted in curiosity, not criticism. He does not ask, "How do I change this?" He asks, "How did this part of you come to exist?" Acceptance does not mean blindness. He is aware of your imperfections. He knows your moods can be unpredictable, your fears sometimes irrational, your past still influencing your present. But instead of weaponizing that knowledge, he handles it with care. When conflict arises, he does not attack your character. He addresses the situation. He separates who you are from what happened. That distinction is rare, and it is powerful. When a man truly accepts you, You feel a certain relaxation in your body. You do not feel the need to perform. You are not constantly editing your personality to maintain his approval. You can express an unpopular opinion without fearing rejection. You can admit insecurity without feeling weak. You can fail without believing you will be discarded. In his presence, authenticity becomes safe. He does not compare you to other women. He does not subtly suggest you should be more like someone else. He values your uniqueness, even the traits that make you different. Your intensity does not intimidate him. Your softness does not bore him. Your ambition does not threaten him. He does not love you in spite of these qualities. He loves you because of them. Acceptance also reveals itself in how he responds to your past. He does not shame you for previous mistakes or heartbreaks. He understands that your history shaped you, but it does not define you. Instead of holding your past against you, he honors the resilience it created within you. He sees growth where others may have seen flaws. Perhaps the most profound sign of being fully accepted is emotional stability. You are not walking on eggshells. You are not constantly seeking reassurance that you are still valued. His presence feels steady. His affection does not fluctuate based on convenience. He does not withdraw love as punishment. His care remains consistent even when you are imperfect. To be accepted wholly is to be loved without condition of performance. And when a man reaches this level of love, he is not attached to an illusion of you. He is connected to your reality. In that space, something extraordinary happens. You stop shrinking, you stop pretending, you begin to unfold naturally. And in your unfolding, the bond deepens, not weakens. That is how you know it is real. Consistency is rarely dramatic. It does not arrive with fireworks or loud declarations. It does not demand applause. Instead, it shows up quietly, repeatedly, and without excuse. When a man feels authentic love for you, he understands that love is not proven in a single unforgettable moment, but in 1,000 ordinary ones. Grand gestures can be impressive, but consistency is what builds trust. Anyone can plan a romantic surprise. Anyone can write a beautiful message when emotions are high. But not everyone can remain steady when life becomes routine, when stress increases, when disagreements surface. Consistency means he calls when he says he will. He shows up when he promises. His tone does not shift unpredictably. His affection does not disappear when the excitement fades. You are not left wondering which version of him you will encounter today. There is a psychological safety in predictability. When his behavior aligns with his words over time, your nervous system relaxes. You stop analyzing every text message. You stop overthinking pauses in conversation. You do not feel the need to decode mixed signals because there are none. His intentions are clear, not because he constantly explains them, but because he demonstrates them repeatedly. Grand gestures often create emotional highs. They can feel intoxicating, almost cinematic, but highs are temporary. They require escalation to maintain intensity. Consistency, on the other hand, creates stability. It may not always feel thrilling, but it feels secure. And security is what allows love to deepen rather than burn out. A man who loves you authentically does not rely on dramatic moments to prove himself. He understands that real devotion is built in the mundane. Consistency also appears in conflict. He does not threaten to leave during arguments. He does not withdraw affection to gain control. Even when he is upset, his respect remains intact. His commitment does not fluctuate with his mood. You can disagree without fearing abandonment. That emotional steadiness speaks louder than any extravagant display of passion. When love is consistent, effort becomes natural rather than performative. He does not act loving only when others are watching. He does not reserve kindness for special occasions. His care is present in small gestures, checking if you arrived home safely, remembering details you mentioned in passing, supporting you on ordinary days when nothing remarkable is happening. These quiet actions accumulate. They form a pattern, and patterns are what reveal truth. Over time, you begin to value consistency more than spectacle. You realize that reliability is more romantic than roses sent once a year. That presence during difficult moments is more meaningful than public declarations. That calm reassurance is more powerful than dramatic apologies. Authentic love chooses endurance over excitement. It chooses stability over chaos. It chooses repetition over rarity. When a man loves you in this way, he is not trying to impress you temporarily. He is trying to build something that lasts. And what lasts is never sustained by intensity alone. It is sustained by the simple, disciplined act of showing up again and again, even when there is no spotlight, no applause, and no immediate reward. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as fragility, but in reality, it is one of the clearest signs of strength. When a man feels authentic love for you, he does something that contradicts his conditioning. He lowers his guard. He steps out from behind the image he presents to the world and allows you to see what exists beneath it. This is not accidental. It is intentional. And it only happens where he feels emotionally safe. Most men are taught, directly or indirectly, to conceal fear, doubt, and uncertainty. They learn to present control, confidence, and composure, even when they feel overwhelmed. So when he begins to share his insecurities with you, his worries about failure, his memories of rejection, his internal battles, it means he trusts that you will not weaponize those truths against him. He believes you will hold them with care rather than judgment. That trust is not given lightly. Emotional safety is not created through perfection. It is created through acceptance. When he expresses something vulnerable and you respond with calm understanding instead of criticism, the bond deepens. He realizes he does not need to perform strength around you. He can simply be human. And in that space, intimacy grows far beyond physical connection. It becomes psychological. It becomes soulful. You may notice that he speaks differently with you than he does with others. His tone softens. His language becomes more reflective. He admits confusion when he does not have answers. He allows silence without rushing to fill it. These subtle shifts reveal comfort. A man who does not love deeply will keep conversations surface level. He will avoid emotional exposure because exposure feels risky. But a man who loves authentically accepts the risk because the connection matters more than the fear. Vulnerability also appears during conflict. Instead of reacting with anger to protect his ego, he expresses how he feels. He says when something hurt him. He explains rather than attacks. That willingness to articulate emotion instead of hiding behind pride shows maturity and emotional investment. He is not trying to win against you. He is trying to understand you and be understood. Emotional safety is reciprocal. As he opens, you feel safer to open too. You begin sharing thoughts you once kept guarded. You reveal parts of yourself that others overlooked. And because neither of you is pretending, the relationship feels real. There is no exhausting performance, no constant need to impress, just two people meeting each other honestly. When a man feels safe enough to cry in front of you, to admit fear of losing you, to confess that he sometimes feels inadequate, that is not weakness. That is depth. It means he values the connection enough to risk being seen imperfectly. He knows you see his flaws, and yet he stays. True intimacy is not built on admiration alone. It is built on revelation, on the courage to say, this is who I am, without defense. When he can exist in that state around you, unguarded, sincere, emotionally presented, is one of the clearest signs that his love is not shallow. It is rooted in trust. And trust is the soil where authentic love survives. When a man feels authentic love for you, his instinct to protect does not come from control, it comes from care. Protection, in its pure form, is not about limiting your freedom or monitoring your every move. It is about ensuring your well-being while honoring your independence. There is a profound difference between guarding someone's safety and guarding their autonomy. Authentic love understands that difference. Protection without possession begins with respect. He does not see you as something to own or manage. You are not a territory to defend or a prize to secure. You are a person with your own mind, ambitions, friendships, and space. His desire to protect you does not shrink your world, it supports you within it. He wants you safe, not small. He wants you secure, not controlled. You will notice this in subtle ways. He checks that you arrived home safely, not because he doubts you, but because your safety matters to him. He stands beside you in uncomfortable situations, not to dominate the room, but to ensure you feel supported. If someone disrespects you, he addresses it calmly and firmly, not to display dominance, but to uphold your dignity. His strength feels steady, not aggressive. Possession, on the other hand, is driven by fear. It demands constant reassurance. It isolates. It questions your choices. But protection rooted in love does not suffocate. It trusts. A man who truly loves you does not panic every time you step into the world without him. He does not interrogate your interactions or restrict your independence. Instead, he builds a connection so secure that control becomes unnecessary. There is confidence in healthy protection. He believes in the bond you share, so he does not feel threatened by your freedom. He understands that loyalty is not enforced through pressure, it is inspired through respect. If he feels jealousy, he communicates it without accusation. He reflects rather than reacts. He works on his insecurity instead of projecting it onto you. That emotional discipline reveals maturity. Protection without possession also means he supports your growth, even when it challenges him. If you pursue a goal that demands time and focus, he does not compete with it, he encourages it. He stands behind your ambitions rather than asking you to reduce them for his comfort. He wants you empowered, because your strength does not intimidate him, it inspires him. In moments of vulnerability, his protective nature feels grounding. When you are overwhelmed, he offers stability. When you doubt yourself, he reminds you of your capability. But he does not make you dependent on him. He does not position himself as your only source of safety. Instead, he reinforces your own strength while offering his presence as support. Authentic love recognizes that true protection is about creating an environment where you can exist fully without fear of control. It is a quiet promise. I will stand with you, not over you. There is no cage disguised as care, no manipulation disguised as devotion. Only steady reassurance that you are free, valued, and safe. When protection feels calm instead of restrictive, when support feels empowering instead of limiting, you are witnessing love without possession. And that kind of love does not bind you, it strengthens you. Patience is one of the quietest yet most powerful indicators of authentic love. It reveals itself not in words, but in restraint. When a man truly cares for you, he does not rush your emotions, your decisions, or your healing. He understands that connection cannot be forced into existence through pressure. It must be allowed to unfold at its own pace. And so he waits not passively, but respectfully. Respect for boundaries begins with listening. When you express discomfort, hesitation, or the need for space, he does not interpret it as rejection. He does not take it as a threat to his ego. Instead, he recognizes it as communication. He understands that boundaries are not walls designed to keep him out. They are guidelines that show him how to love you correctly. Rather than challenging them, he honors them. There is maturity in this restraint. Many people equate intensity with devotion. They believe pushing harder proves sincerity. But authentic love does not push where it is not invited. It recognizes that emotional safety requires consent, not coercion. If you are not ready to move forward, physically, emotionally, or practically, he does not attempt to persuade you otherwise. He values your comfort more than his urgency. Patience also appears in moments of misunderstanding. When conflict arises, he does not demand immediate resolution simply to ease his own discomfort. He gives you time to process. He allows conversations to breathe. He does not escalate when emotions are high. Instead, he approaches disagreements with a steady presence, understanding that clarity often emerges after reflection rather than reaction. Respecting boundaries means he does not attempt to access parts of you that you are not ready to share. You are guarded about your past. He does not interrogate you. If you need solitude to recharge, he does not guilt you for it. He trusts that what is meant to be shared will be shared in time. That trust creates a sense of ease. You feel no pressure to perform vulnerability before you are ready. There is also a deeper layer to patience. He sees your growth as a process, not a deadline. If you are healing from previous wounds, he does not grow frustrated with your pace. He does not compare your readiness to his expectations. He understands that real connection cannot thrive in an environment of pressure. It thrives where there is room to breathe. When a man respects your boundaries, you feel empowered rather than controlled. You feel heard rather than managed. Your no does not create distance. It strengthens trust. Because every time he honors your limits, he demonstrates that your autonomy matters to him. And autonomy is essential for love to remain healthy. Patience is not weakness, it is discipline. It is the ability to prioritize long-term connection over short-term gratification. It shows that he is not trying to conquer your heart, but to earn it. He is not chasing intensity, he is building stability. And stability requires time. In the presence of patience and respect, love feels calm. You do not feel rushed or cornered. You feel valued as an individual with your own rhythm. And in that environment, intimacy develops naturally, without force, without fear, and without regret. When a man feels authentic love for you, his mindset shifts from temporary emotion to long-term vision. Attraction may spark the connection, but commitment rooted in growth sustains it. He no longer thinks only about how you make him feel in the present moment. He begins to consider who he must become to build a future. That includes you. Love, for him, becomes responsibility, not obligation, but intentional responsibility. Growth-oriented commitment means he does not remain stagnant. Loving you activates his desire to evolve. He becomes more disciplined with his time, more focused on his goals, more aware of his habits, not because you demanded transformation, but because he understands that meaningful connection requires strength, maturity, and stability. He wants to meet you at your level and rise with you, not hold you back. You will notice this in the way he speaks about the future. His language includes you naturally. He does not make vague promises or speak in fantasies without substance. Instead, he considers practical steps, he plans, he organizes, he takes action. Commitment becomes visible through behavior. He aligns his decisions with the relationship rather than treating it as an accessory to his life. A growth-oriented man does not evade difficult conversations. He understands that improvement requires honesty. If something is not working, he addresses it. If he makes a mistake, he reflects and adjusts. His ego does not prevent accountability. He would rather evolve than protect pride. This willingness to self-correct shows depth. It proves he values the longevity of the bond more than the comfort of being right. Growth within commitment also means he encourages your evolution. He does not feel threatened by your success or independence. If you pursue new ambitions, he supports them. If you outgrow old patterns, he adapts alongside you. He sees the relationship as a living entity that must expand, not a fixed structure that resists change. When challenges arise, he views them as opportunities to strengthen the foundation rather than reasons to withdraw. There is consistency in his effort. He does not invest heavily only during the honeymoon phase. He continues learning your needs, refining communication, deepening emotional intimacy. He understands that love requires maintenance. Just as the body requires nourishment and exercise to remain healthy, connection requires intention and effort to remain strong. Growth-oriented commitment is not dramatic. It is steady. It is reflected in small improvements over time. He becomes more patient where he was once reactive, more expressive where he was once silent, more dependable where he was once inconsistent. These shifts may be subtle, but they reveal seriousness. Most importantly, he does not view commitment as restriction. He sees it as expansion. Choosing you does not feel like losing options. It feels like gaining direction. His loyalty is not forced, it is chosen daily. He recognizes that depth is built through focus, not distraction. When a man commits with growth in mind, he is not simply holding on to a relationship. He is building it. He is strengthening himself to sustain it. And in that steady pursuit of becoming better, not perfect, but better, authentic love finds the stability it needs to endure. And when you witness all of this together, his consistency, his patience, his vulnerability, his protection without control, his respect for your boundaries, and his commitment to grow, you begin to understand something profound. Authentic love is not loud, but it is undeniable. It does not rush to impress you, nor does it disappear when tested. It remains. Real love is not a performance designed to win your approval. It is a presence that stands steady beside you. It is the choice to stay honest when it would be easier to hide. The choice to improve when it would be easier to blame. The choice to protect without limiting, to desire without controlling, to commit without fear. When a man loves you in this way, you will not feel confused about where you stand. You will not feel like you are constantly fighting for reassurance. Instead, you will feel calm, grounded, certain, not because the relationship is perfect, but because it is real. Authentic love does not promise a life without challenges. It promises partnership within them. It says, we will grow through this, instead of, you must handle this alone. It turns two separate journeys into one shared direction. So if you find yourself with someone who sees you fully, shows up consistently, opens his heart without armor, protects your peace without possessing your freedom, respects your limits, and strives to become better for the future you might share, do not overlook it because it lacks drama. Depth is often quiet. And in a world addicted to intensity, quiet depth is rare. Choose the love that feels steady. Choose the love that grows. Choose the love that builds. Because authentic love is not about being overwhelmed. It is about being understood, supported, and chosen again and again.